Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. We just got back from church. It is Sunday, and a very common question that I've been getting lately due to my latest purchase when it comes down to one of my properties. This is my fifth house by age 23. I wouldn't really call myself like a real estate guru or a real estate investor in general. Everything that I have learned has been because of the real estate agents and the lenders that I've worked with, and just the questions that I've asked. So a very common question that I've been getting is, how is it that you could qualify for a house loan without a 2-year work history? So this is just an option. It's not the only one out there. It's the one that I personally use to buy this house that you see right behind me. And I really hope that it could guide you in the right direction. And if maybe it's not something that you can, take a part of right now, I hope the information that you learn today is something that can benefit you in the near future and at least maybe spark some interest to get you moving forward and act as a positive catalyst for your success. So let's go ahead on and go inside. I want to break it down for you guys on my whiteboard on how is it that you could qualify, what the risks are, right, when it comes down to qualifying for these specific type of loans and not needing a 2-year work history. So I hope that this at least helps one person out there that might be in a similar situation, and that's really just it. So let's go ahead and go on inside, and then again, be sure to stay tuned to the very end of the video because I'm going to give a little announcement at the very end. So let's go ahead and go inside. All right, so I'm actually going to break everything down right here. I don't actually need a whiteboard. I want to give you guys certain requirements and examples on kind of a little bit more about, I want to call it like a no-doc loan. First of all, I want to let you guys know that just so you can simply have a article that you can read a little bit more and learn a little bit more about, I'm going to plug it down below. I'm not associated or affiliated with this website in any means, but I want to make sure that you guys have at least some information to learn a little bit more about this. And also, sorry about my outfit. I know I don't normally dress like this, but it's Sunday and we just got back from church. So to get a little bit more into it, you need normally on a traditional or an FHA loan, you normally need a 2-year work history. So what that means is that you have to have filed your taxes for about 2 years to qualify and show that you have that income to afford this house, right? So if you don't already know that, I would dedicate a little bit more time to learn about conventional and FHA loans. The loan that actually qualified for this house is a type of FHA loan based on my understanding and the lenders that we worked with. It's a new specific style of loan, and again, I want to call it like a no-doc loan where they don't require a 2-year work history. And again, normally when it comes down, and there's a lot of different variables, but normally when it comes down to a traditional loan, you need to have your 2-year work history. You need to show that stable income, right? So because when the lender is loaning you money, they want to see the form of risk that they are taking on with you when it comes down to lending you this money and what the risk is in them actually getting it back, and what that interest rate is going to be set at according to that risk. So again, I would dedicate a little bit more time to understand that. Now, because they don't require the 2-year work history on a normal loan, based on my understanding, when it comes down to purchasing a house, a person normally puts about maybe 3 to 5% down. Based on my experience from the first house that I ever bought, I chose to put over 20% down as I wanted to be a little bit more of an aggressive offer. I wanted to make sure that my offer stood out in the comparison to every other person out there. Also, that it was just much more in the favor of the lender, just so they could see that the type of risk that they're taking with me is much less, as I already put so much of the equity in the house down, that their risk is, again, that much less. So again, normally you don't have to put that much down. I believe it's about 3 to 5%, 10% max that a normal person puts down, or the average person, I want to say better, when it comes down to buying a house. Your credit score normally has to be pretty good. And then when it comes down to your 2-year work history, you want to make sure that that stable income is there and showing that you could actually afford that house. Makes sense, right? Very simple. Now, when it comes down to this specific new style of loan, I wanted to give you guys an understanding of what the normal risk or what the normal kind of layout for a traditional loan is. With this no-doc loan, or if you don't have a 2-year work history, so how many college students, high school students, younger individuals, or people that just started their first business, can relate to this. You don't have a 2-year work history within the same niche. So if you go from having a 2-year work history to becoming self-employed, you don't necessarily have the same 2-year work history, so you won't be able to leverage that anymore. So this loan, I think, can act as a catalyst for your success. And the reason why is you don't need that 2-year work history, but you do need 2 other things based on my understanding. There's 3 things that I had to prove: my credit score, my bank statements, and I needed to put a higher down payment down. And again, this is where some of you might be filtered out. I just simply want to share my experience, as I know it's not gonna benefit all of you because we're all in different positions, but I had to put 40% down on this house. You guys might be like, what the heck? I can't do that, right? I know some of you can, but you have to understand some of you can. And the reason that I'm sharing this is, again, stay tuned to the very end of the video. 40% down. That gets rid of your PMI, the premium mortgage insurance, which does take a chunk of your monthly payment down, right? The interest that you usually pay for that. On top of that, by putting 40% down, the reason that you have to do that is because you don't have the 2-year work history. So the bank is already taking a form of risk, a higher form of risk, by lending you that money. So they want to make sure that you have a larger form of equity in that house to make sure that if you end up not being able to afford the house, that they have enough equity in the house that, if you have to file for bankruptcy or whatever, end up foreclosing on the home, that they can at least take that house, get the equity that's already invested in the house, and then sell it and either break even or make some profit off of it. So that's the whole idea behind the down payment. Also, based on my understanding, the bank statement showing that you have funds in your account is something that's very important. Based on my understanding, I think it's 2 to 3 months that they ask for, that you have proof of funds. And then when it comes down to your credit score again does have to be a little bit in the higher, in the lower maybe 700s to the mid 700s to be considered a good candidate for this specific loan. I know that some people are going to be filtered out by the credit score aspect. Some people are going to be filtered out by the having the specific amount of money in their bank, and some people are going to be filtered out because of how much you have to put down. Let me explain to you why I think this is so important. Right now, and based on my opinion, again, I'm no real estate guru, I'm no real estate investor, but based on my understanding, please, first step that you should do is get in contact with a real estate agent. After watching this video, if you're someone that's actually motivated, Google right now real estate agents within my area and start texting some of them. They benefit by helping you buy a house. So the reason that I think that's so important is because I want you to become more familiar of what it's going to take to qualify for a house. I want you to be aware of what it is that you need to do to be able to qualify for this specific house. The reason why is I think the market that we're in right now is definitely more of a seller's market. There's not a lot of good deals. And in my opinion, especially within my area, yes, sometimes you can come across pretty good deals, very rarely, especially in this very overextended, overbought market. The reason that I feel like this is so important is if I were in someone's shoes where I'm saving money, right? I'm saving every penny to qualify for my first house, to have enough money for the down payment, I would aggressively approach that specific kind of just technique of saving all my money, saving all my pennies, because of how overbought the market is. There's going to have to be some form of pullback. I don't know if it's going to happen soon or anything like that, but I think it's very important to know that you don't need a 2-year work history to qualify for a house that, let's say the market does end up pulling back. If you start saving money now and you end up being able to save $20, $40, $50, $100,000, and I get it, that's a lot of money. I'm just saying for those that can, and it's definitely all possible, but for those that can, the houses that are $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 now, if there's a big enough pullback, just like we saw in 2008, 2009, those that took advantage of those opportunities are the ones that ended up green in 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, and able to sell it for a profit. Not just the rental income, but able to sell it for hundreds of thousands of dollars more than what they bought it from. But it's because they understood that the market was overbought, they prepared for a potential pullback, they focused on good deals, and when the opportunity presented itself, guess what? They planned for it, so they were able to take action. It's as simple as that. I just want you guys to know that there's another alternative other than the 2-year work history, the traditional way of approaching the FHA and the conventional loan. I think that it's very important to be aware of the different just opportunities that you can take advantage of. And I really hope that this can either spark some interest in some of you and at least guide some of you in the right direction, where now that you know a little bit more about this specific loan, maybe it might not benefit you, but maybe it might benefit a friend, an investor that you might know, and guide them in the right direction. And that's the whole point, right? The more you know, the better you'll do. And that's really just it. So again, the no-doc loan, as I want to call it, again, I'm going to plug the link down below so you guys can learn a little bit more about it. I'm not too sure if it's available in every single state out there within the United States. I just know that normally you do need a 2-year work history. I know there's different ways around it. This is just an alternative. And if you're a real estate agent or if you're a lender and you want to share something for either younger individuals or for those that are wanting to purchase their first house and what could be a good alternative, feel free to comment it down below. That's the whole point of this video. Be sure if you're reading the comments that you're not just intrinsically motivated to take action based on what someone might comment. Make sure that you do your own due diligence. Make sure that you learn more about it and that you get other people's opinion that are not solely benefiting from the purchase that you might be making. What I mean by that is if you're a real estate agent or your lender saying, hey, this is the best deal ever, one thing that I like to do is to ask someone that is not intrinsically benefiting from the sale, right? As a real estate agent or as a lender, they benefit from selling you a house. Ask a real estate agent or a lender that's not benefiting from it and just confirm and verify that it's a good deal. I think that's a good cross-reference or cross-confirmation that you can get to get a better understanding that, hey, I'm taking the proper steps and precautions to take advantage of the best deals within my area and making sure that I feel comfortable with the investment that I'm about to make. That's really just it. Again, I'm no real estate guru, not any real estate agent. I'm just trying to speak based on my experience. If there's something that I said that is wrong and you want to call me out on it, please put it down in the comment section. I'm really just trying to expose more people to the market of real estate and how to take advantage of other opportunities that are not so traditional based on the 2-year work history type of loans. So thank you guys again so much for your time. All the links are down below. If you guys want to learn more about what it is that we do on the day-to-day basis, feel free to check out our YouTube channel. My name is Ricky. I'm 23 years old. And again, we do run the largest YouTube channel and the largest Facebook group for those who invest in the stock market. I have over 400,000 subscribers on YouTube. I have over 170,000 members within our free Facebook group for those who invest in the stock market. Click that third link down in the description to join. Click that subscribe button. Make sure that you click that thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos about investing in real estate, and if you have a series of questions that you want to ask me and suggestions, all you have to do is comment them down below. I'd be more than happy to make a video on whatever your request is if it's something that I feel that I could share proper or good enough knowledge about. So thank you guys again for your time. We'll see you today in our Sunday Stock Talk. Be sure to click on my story video to learn a little bit more about my story and what has led to my success. Like always, guys, continue working hard, continue following your dreams, let your passion be what drives your success. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.